My name is Petar Stojanov. I'm the managing partner of Ebtikaar, an innovation advisory based here in Dubai, with offices here in Dubai and in Melbourne, Australia. So the three words I would use to describe myself are forensic, counterintuitive, and I would like to think scientific about the way I solve problems. So there's definitely something about being able to share your ideas with an audience. The last speech that I gave was in front of over 1,000 people. And when you think about it, I gave half an hour of my time, but there were 1,000 people giving them half an hour of their time as well. And so I feel that there's a sense of responsibility as a speaker to share those insights in a way that those people can appreciate, because they're giving me their time to come and listen. The one thing that I love from my audience is definitely the feedback. You can see the twinkle in their eyes when they understand what you're talking about, and when they finally realize some of the points that you're making, and when they get the story that you've interweaved together. Really, we as speakers are there to serve the audience, and so when we get that feedback, that they've understood what we've wanted to say, or to understand the point that they've got across, to understand the point that we've got across to them, that's really powerful. So the first of the 3 points that I'd like to share is, it's really important to be congruent with what you say. And so many times I'll see speakers that feel that speaking is the important part, but actually what I feel, and this is where I'm counterintuitive, I think that the message is far more important than the way that it's expressed. And so I spent a lot of time putting together and crafting a narrative that I talk about in my stories. And I think it's important that the message resonates with the public. The second point is to make sure that when you're speaking, that you are connecting with every single person within the audience. When I speak, I like to sort of swing the radar from the left through the center and towards the right, and to make sure that I connect with as many people as possible. And this comes from experience. When you have gained enough experience that you're not concerned anymore about how you're delivering your message or whether your message is resonating with people, then you can sort of identify people within the crowd and connect with each of them individually. So the third one for me is owning the room. And what I mean by that is, when you're put up on stage or when you're selected to speak in front of that number of people, you really have to own it. And at that stage, there's no nervousness, there's no hesitation. You just get up there and do your thing. And I've found that that's a really powerful way of thinking about getting up on stage, own the audience. My favorite book is actually a series of books that were written over the course of about 20 years. And they're the Inserto by Nassim Nicholas Taleb. And why that series of books, it's actually 5 books, that so profoundly resonates with me, is what Nassim in his books has done is really deconstructed a lot of the eternal truths that we have. And in fact, a lot of my speaking, a lot of the ideas that I've had, that I have turned into a specific subset for innovation, a lot of those ideas are inspired by and come from a lot of Nassim's thinking and his writing. So my purpose when I go up on stage is really to share ideas. It's not about me, and it's all about the message. And the thing is that I believe so profoundly in the things that I talk about, and this idea that, for example, business and science are on opposite ends of the same spectrum. I believe this idea so compellingly that what I want to do is share it with my audience, whether it's in a public organization, in the public sector, whether it's in a private organization, or indeed in some of the most recent talks that it's been to large audiences in respective domains. Those ideas that I'm sharing are timeless. They came before me and they'll probably exist after me as well. And so for me, my purpose is to share messages. So improving my speaking style is about practice. And the irony is that the more that you speak, the better that you get. But obviously to get a speaking gig is a little bit tough. You have to go through a selection process. But the more you get selected, the more you get to speak. The more you speak, the better you get. And the better you get, the more you get selected. And so I think it's a case of simply grabbing all of those opportunities when you can speak, I've done a lot of speaking, and in small speaking engagements, probably for a couple of minutes, simply getting over that irrational fear of speaking in front of people is something that a lot of people have trouble dealing with. But once you get in front of an audience and are able to communicate your message and get better and better at it, that's how you improve. It's all practice. So my message for people who are interested in becoming speakers, worry less about the speaking and worry more about the message. And the irony is that with a really compelling message, the rest will come along by itself. So I'm by no means a natural public speaker. It's a skill that I've gained. But what's most important for me is communicating an important message. And from that point, once you have the message, the communication will come as a natural consequence.